in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying all the content that I've been putting out, I recommend subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every single time I put out a new video. So today I want to talk about having difficulty keeping the nose down on your throw. It's very important to throw the disc with the nose down to get the proper flight pattern. If you throw your disc and you get the nose up, it's not going to let the disc fly the proper flight pattern because it's going to want to lift the disc, and you need the disc to cut through the wind. So to cut through the wind, you got to have the nose down. So the trick is to keep the nose down. I think a lot of people don't do is tension. You can't just push your wrist down. You have to push the wrist down and then lock it in. By locking your wrist down, so right now I have tension in my wrist, to hold the wrist down. With that little bit of tension in my wrist, it's not going to let my wrist come up on the throw. So I think a lot of times what people are doing is they're setting up, you're taking your grip, you might push, you push your wrist down, but because there's no tension in your wrist, you let it come back up as you're throwing the disc. So you're starting out with it down, but once you do your, reach back and you get all the way out here to throw, you're letting the disc come out of its nose down. The wrist is coming loose here. So the only way to control this is by putting tension in the wrist to hold it down. So once you've pushed the disc down, put some tension. So now my wrist is locked with the nose down, and it's not going to come up on me when I make my throw. So look at the disc, push it down, and then put some tension. Then when you go to throw, that tension stays here. You throw the disc, and the nose stays down. But you gotta get that nose down on all your throws to get the proper flight pattern. And like I said, if you're just having trouble with it always coming up, it's basically, you're letting your wrist come undone. So look at it, push the wrist down, lock it in, put tension, throw. And I think you'll notice that it's a lot easier keeping that nose down once you put some tension in your wrist, to keep that wrist down. So anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.